Hello, Forgers, and welcome to Metasight, a podcast where we discuss SoulForge fusion mechanics, meta, and maneuvers. I'm your host, Ben, also known as Onk, and with me I have...
Hey, this is Nate. Weekend.
So today we are going to do a bit of a card preview, but we have a little bit of news to talk about. So if you've been following along with the channel and on Discord, you know this week we are continuing with the Digitize Dust Up. Little bit of a spoiler alert. Any two will do won their match, so we are on at table 1 this week against Team Dino Beard. Got a pretty epic match of against Got the Aloyan Blues. How'd you feel about that game, Nate?
It was good back and forth until it wasn't. It abruptly ended. So
Yeah,
congratulations. Yeah.
the bounties really made a difference that game, actually.
You guys played well. It was fun. It was fun. A lot of fun. Yeah.
So if you haven't already heard about the Digitize Dust Up, it is a charity tournament that we have going on. I'll put a link in the notes, but all the proceeds go to the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And we've already beaten our original goal and already passed our stretch goals. So he's already, KC Kid's been running it, helping to promote it. And yeah, we just keep on raising funds. This is doing really awesome. So a lot of the teams have bounties on them now, but you know, you can still throw some around. Our team has not yet received a full bounty yet, and neither has Team Dino Beard as far as I know. So if you want to throw a little bounty love, either way, we don't mind playing too. Digitize is great. But yeah, so we're gonna keep on going with this, and if you want to take a look at my perspective of the game, I had it up on my channel, and I believe, Nate, you have a copy of your guys' perspective on your Twitch.
Yeah, we'll stream our next round too. So watch us fight the fifth cycle. It's gonna be epic.
Yeah. So I'll put a link to all those in the show notes. And next quick order of business, I am going to be running a tournament in October. So to celebrate the successful Kickstarter of the Nexus Tracker, I'm going to be running a sealed tournament online. This will be real product, so you know all the players that participate. I will be giving out decks. I'll be mailing them to you. I'm going to have prize support. I'm going to be giving out the original prototype mats as prizes. There'll be some prototype foil minions to give out, as well as additional just boosters to give out as sort of door prizes. So, and it's just supposed to be, you know, it's kind of a fun celebration, kind of low key. But just, you know, come join us. It'll be on October 14th. Starts at noon Eastern time, and the entry fee is $18. It's just, you know, enough to cover a little bit of product and the shipping fees, as well as price support. So if you guys can join us, I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. But today, we all know what you guys are here for. You guys are here for the last winter spoiler. I think that's why Nate's here as well. So I'm just going to go right into it. I don't think we need a game with this one, because this one's a forge creature. It's a little trickier. But I'm going to show you the Magnetic Champion. Guess what faction it is? That'll be the
That's
game.
a cool name. I'm gonna guess Aloyan.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty easy.
Whoa, look at that artwork.
Yeah, so this is a forged creature too. So it's an adjective and a noun. So for those of you listening at home, it's at level 1, it's a 3/6 warrior. The champion part of it has Exalted. Activate to give each creature adjacent to this +1/+1. And the magnetic part of it is Deploy. You may move an Exalt to this lane. It goes up to a 5/8 at level 2, and the bonus is increased to 2/2 to the adjacent creatures. And at level 3, it's a 10/10 with +3/+3 to his neighbors. So move an Exalt to his lane and then activate. That's what it's telling you to do here with this particular fusion. But what are your thoughts of this, Nate? I've got to see this for a couple days, but this is your first time seeing it.
Yeah, this is great. So Ator's ability is coming to somebody else in the form of, I think that's the magnetic portion, right? Probably.
Yeah, the magnetic seems to be the I'm guessing it's a Aloyan specific, but I could see maybe Tempest as well.
The combination of Exalted and Magnetic seems really cool here. Wow.
Yeah, it's a rare fuse. So.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's rare. The combination of abilities makes this character seem strong, and maybe we see that in the stat line a little bit. What was the stats on the level 2 version? If you go back
It
to
was a 5/8.
5/8. Okay.
So you're
So as we've
taking,
talked about.
yeah, it's what is it like a 4 point penalty altogether,
Yeah.
or 5 points?
12.
5 points.
Okay.
But
It's
one
not too bad.
activation and you're getting another +8 if you can get
Yeah.
two things adjacent and an exalt in lane. It
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's taking too much of a hit, really, for what
Mm.
it dishes out.
Yeah. Plus, it's a warrior. There's some synergy with warriors, and you want your warriors to have high health, which this one does. So, yeah.
Yeah,
No, no, quite impressive. I really like it. The scaling is a little interesting. What do you think about the 1 1 2 2 3 3 scaling here?
I think it's
Is it
pretty good. Um, it's nice that it affects health and not just attack, like we've seen in some of the Tempest cards. Like it kind of reminds me a little bit of Nargoth Commander, but instead of hurting your creatures, you're boosting them.
Mhm.
You do have a little bit of the setup cost because it has to be in a lane with an exalt. This one just
Mm.
happens to be able to self-solve it and bring an exalt into its lane, but you still have to have one out there, right, to
Mm.
move
Mm.
around. Another thing is it doesn't say it has to be one of your exalts, so you can really mess with your opponent's exalts too if you want.
Yeah.
Um, so, and for what we've seen from spoiler season, there's a lot of exalts that have like energy counters on them, so you want to use them over multiple turns. And I can see something like not necessarily a champion, but just a magnetic creature pulling it into a lane where your opponent doesn't necessarily want it to be, and can't really
Mhm.
utilize their counters as well. Like I believe there was one that lets you play a level 1 minion from your hand, or a level 1 creature from your hand by using an energy counter. We'll just move it into a lane with one of their level 3s, and they're not gonna be able to use it till the 3's off the board, right?
Mhm.
So I can see like it kind of reminds me of taunting as well. Like it's got a lot
Mhm.
of. I feel like this is gonna have a lot of applications, and I'm interested to see like how the stat penalties shake out between the magnetic and the champion aspect.
Mhm.
But it's not between the two. It's not suffering. It's only suffering like 7, so it doesn't seem like magnetic's gonna have much of a suffering to me. I'm guessing most of that's being taken from the champion half of it.
Activate ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this we're starting to get a feel for some things that could counter Rumble Spark, right? So if you had an Exalt in the lane with a Dark Heart, you could move it out of the way, or you can
Hmm.
control. This is a way outside Ator to move opponents' Exalts around as well. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah. That's really
I wish it
exciting.
wasn't rare. If it was common, that'd be more fun because then the board would really open up and get pretty wild.
Yeah. I wonder why they made it rare.
Hmm.
Maybe it was too much to. Maybe it was too anti fun for more casual, right? To keep messing with like where the exalts were on the board.
Hmm.
Because like the idea of the exalt is that it forever changes the battlefield, and well,
Yeah.
you don't want to. That kind of gives it less of a forever change. It's kind of too much influx at that point. I don't know, but
Do you think this would be annoying if it was played against your Lewinter deck, where it could move the core into like Lewinter's lane itself, or mess
uh,
with that deck at all?
yeah, it could a little bit. I mean, I don't know how annoying it would be, to be honest,
Mm.
because with that particular deck, it just wants to fill up with exalts anyway. So if I have 5 exalts out, you ain't moving it.
Ain't moving it. Yeah. Yeah.
But even still, it's like some of the exalt. It just depends on the exalt, right? Because sometimes it doesn't matter what lane it's in,
Mm.
because you only care about it once it's like cleared out. It just
Hmm.
depends on the exalt, really. I'm interested to see which exalts come from battle for Whitefang Pass and end up in the last winter.
Mm.
Uh, hopefully they will not just. Hopefully there'll be a good mix, right, of alpha cards and Whitefang Pass cards,
Mm.
to, and then a good heaping of last winter cards, right? But not just like I don't anticipate them doing anything like, hey, it's half alpha, half last winter, and you don't see anything from uh, Whitefang Pass. I think that would be a little
Mm.
bit of a mistake, but I think as long as they introduce enough cards to the set, it should still be very interesting. Um,
Yeah.
we've also seen quite a few new soul binds already, so my hope is that either they expand the number of soul binds, or at least they bring some of the soul binds from Whitefang
Hmm.
Pass, just so that you have some interaction with these new things, especially with the new Exalt focus.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I wondered what soulbinds they would bring to set 3. There's some I'd love to see and some that I wouldn't, but this is definitely, yeah, it has a lot of cool interaction with warriors and other cool things going on
Yeah.
here. I really like this. Do you think the ability to ready this in some way could get pretty strong or overpowered even? Um,
Um,
the plus to adjacent?
yeah, I mean, bringing this with Tempe's could be really strong with that new a
Mm,
seer card that can ready a creature once a turn. Because giving
mm.
+6/+6 to adjacent creatures can be
Yeah.
big game. Um, yeah.
It doesn't pump itself. Like I think Asperian Steelplate's the one where when you deploy and it gives adjacent creatures, but it also
Right.
gives itself. So yeah, I was thinking, how do you keep this alive? Because it's going to keep the adjacent ones alive. So maybe
Right. That's true.
lead the charge or something would be nice as well for this card.
Yeah, and plus if lead the charge is Uteran, which has another warrior synergy there,
Mhm, mhm,
uh, and keeping him on the board longer to keep your more your breakthrough threats from Utera on the board. Get your bashers, pump
mhm,
them up, or even a Packmaster would be really good with this, especially if you can get uh, a high toughness one or high health one.
mhm.
Since there's no guarantee that you'll get these two uh, together, but this
The only
particular
other
one's really cool.
the only other thought too, we saw a spoiler where there was I think a Tempe's Exalt that could push back the opposing creature and give it defender. So this might
Yeah,
be pretty great. The magnetic ability outside of the champion, just that magnetic ability could really set up some cool Tempe's Aloyan combos in set 3.
yeah. That card looked really of the energy cards. That was probably one of the more exciting ones to me.
Yeah.
Just with how
Yeah.
much control it can give you. And Aloyan likes to do stealth as well, so having that
Mhm.
defender aspect to it is also awesome. So if if you're off forward, you put this guy out. You just push back the one that's in his lane.
Mhm.
You can get at least 2 activations out of him if he doesn't die outside of combat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This looks great.
very cool.
Glad it's an Aloyan. Yeah.
Yeah, we're starting to see some really cool Aloyan cards in the set. Hopefully, they keep pace with the cool stuff from the other factions, so we can get a little more Aloyan love going
Yeah.
forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that is our spoiler for the last winter today, and we will go ahead and wrap this up. Got any other thoughts on it before we put a bow on it?
That was great. Warrior, really cool art, really cool abilities. Very excited. This is a great card.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait to open one of these.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will catch you for the next episode.
All right.
Bye.
I guess.